what is today? Today's the Saturday. It's the Saturday after Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving was on the 25th. So does that make today the 27th? Hey Stitchers, this is Christine and welcome to my November vlog. This is actually an intro that I'm filming at the end of the month instead of the beginning, because the intro that I filmed at the beginning of the month ended up being irrelevant, basically, because everything that I said I was going to do this month in that intro, I did none of it. So, which wasn't that big of a deal because, I mean, if you've been watching me for a while, you'll know I always change my plans and end up not doing what I say I'm going to do. But I was editing that, and in the background you could hear my son. He has his gaming room is downstairs, but I'm kind of right by the vent, and he gets a little animated when he's gaming and uses a bit of colorful language, and you could kind of hear him doing that in the background while I'm talking. So I thought I better just, I couldn't really edit it out because you could hear it as I'm talking, so I ended up I thought I'm just going to refilm. I'm just going to refilm the intro and get this started off on the right note. I don't have the kit in front of me, but I took the Mill Hill kit Fall Leaves, which you'll see in the next clip, and I was just going to start off my vlog showing kind of like the unboxing of that, and then I was just going to show you kind of like updates throughout the month. Well, it ended up being a little bit more elaborate because I ended up just pretty much working on that one straight through in the course of just a very few days. And so this kind of ended up being more so than just all the different things I'm working on. It's kind of like a, hey, let's stitch this kit together. Well, not really together if you're not doing one too, but okay, it's a let's watch Christine stitch some Mill Hill kits. That's what it is. Yes. Yeah, that's it. Let's go with that. Good morning, Flosstube. It is Friday. It's Friday, November 12th, and I have a little bit of time to stitch this morning, and I was going to start one of these two kits here. I need to make sure I don't have the glare, but I think we've got, can you see that without a glare? Let me see. Yeah, we've got this one that I'm considering starting, along with this one. And I think because I had decided to potentially do this one on fabric, I'm going to hold off on that one and not start it. And I think for right now, I'm going to go ahead and get started on this one instead. It is full coverage, and so I'm going to sew fabric to the outside edge so that I can put it in a hoop and do two-handed stitching. But let's go ahead and open this up and see what's inside. Alright, these are the lovely threads. Right here. They need to be sorted, but no big deal. I don't mind doing that. Here is the little button that it comes with, the button charm, because all the buttons and beads usually come with a ceramic button. These are the bead packs. And inside the bead packs, we have a beading needle and a regular sewing needle. There's a better view without a glare. The instructions. And it looks like some green perforated paper. All right, I'm going to go ahead and sort the floss and get some fabric sewn onto the outside edge of this so that I can put it into a hoop, and I'm going to get started on this. Alright, I got my threads all sorted, and most of them were pretty self-explanatory to what they're referred to on the chart here. The only one that was a little bit confusing was this color right here, is what I think they were calling beige, but to me it looks more like a light olive green. So I did look at this cover sheet, and I see that they use that symbol in this area right here, which is clearly, this background is sort of a light olive green. That is what they're calling beige. But I did want to say that when all else fails, they do give you the DMC color for the flosses. So if you do a lot of Mill Hill kits, I highly recommend getting one of these DMC thread color cards, because then you can just sort of cross-check anything that's a little bit confusing, you know, with the colors on here. And I think, let's see, yes, the color that they're calling beige was this 372, which to me looks still kind of greenish colored. But anyway, I did confirm that that is the right color, and I think that we are all set to go. So yeah, it can be a little bit confusing trying to decipher that, but I don't know, it's kind of like a puzzle. So if you're patient and you have the right tools, it's pretty doable. So with that part being done, I went ahead and took my perforated paper and I marked a big X on the back to find the center, and I'm going to go stitch some fabric around the outside edge and get started putting in a few stitches, and then I'll check back. Oh yeah, in the past I've just used my sewing machine to sew the extra fabric on, but I think I'm going to try to just sew it by hand, just do like a little bit of a whip stitch, and I think I'm only going to sew fabric on 2 sides rather than 4, because I think that that would be plenty to hold it in the hoop. So I'll let you know how that goes. Good morning, it's the next day, and I'm going to get a little bit of stitching in, but I thought I would show you that I did end up stitching, sewing some fabric onto just 2 sides of my perforated paper. On here's my little, I just use, when I put my threads, I just get a note card, fold it in half, and just put my little symbols on there and get my thread organized that way. So I had said yesterday that I was going to want to suspend, you know, sew some fabric on just 2 sides. In the past videos, I've showed that I've done all 4 sides, and I've talked about it in another video. If you want me to find that video for you, it's somewhere. I have a lot of videos, so I could point you in the right direction if you want to see how I did it with the sewing machine. But there were a little bit of downsides to that, because some of the little holes on the very edge do get a little bit of damage, because you don't really control where the sewing needle goes, but in the long run it doesn't really show when you put these in a frame. So I'm okay with that, and I was going to do that, but I weighed the option of how much trouble it was going to be to get my sewing machine out and set up to sew this versus just grabbing a needle and thread and doing it by hand, and that's what I opted to do. So let me just flip it over and show you. Let's get in here. So this stand I have is the Morgan hoop stand, where I highly recommend it if you don't have one of these. It has 2 sides, so you can use the smaller side or the bigger side, but it does allow you, if you do like to do 2-handed stitching, I'll get into that in a minute. But let's go in here and show you. So I just started with a whip stitch right there. I was going to just do a whip stitch around, but then I decided to just do a running stitch, and it literally, I just did, you can see a very large basting stitch, and yeah, just did that on both sides. And I think that having just the 2 pieces of fabric, you know, you don't need, because it doesn't really necessarily need to be pulled taut that way. You know, you just want something to kind of suspend the paper. I don't have it in here super tight because I don't want to pull on those stitches too much, but just enough to be able to let this paper float, because if you have stitched Mill Hill kits, you know that it's kind of a pain when you put the needle in that. So it's not so much when you put the needle down this way, but then when you come this way, if you're doing one-handed stitching, normally you can, well, I'll just demonstrate. when you put the needle up and then you go to bring your hand around, the needle falls back through because the hole is too big. So it's kind of a pain. So it's really nice to be able to do two-handed stitching, and that's why I like, there are various ways. I'm in the Mill Hill Facebook group. People talk about all different ways using stretcher bars and, you know, many creative ways to be able to get your perforated paper suspended in a hoop or a stand or something like that to make it the two-handed stitching easier. So this little bit I did last night, and I'm going to do a little bit of stitching here this morning, but not too much. We have a new refrigerator coming today, so as soon as my coffee kicks in, I'm going to take all of the food that's in our refrigerator and freezer right now and put it in our spare freezer that we have down in the basement, and we have a spare cooler out in the garage. So that's going to be my morning, and then I get to go to a college football game at noon, which I'm completely excited about because now that I have a son in college, I have a football team to root for. He doesn't play on the football team. My boys have always been hockey players, but he goes to that school, so I am a fan of it. We are Colorado School of Mines, and our football team are the Ore Diggers, and we have the cutest, I think, the cutest mascot ever. He's a burro named Blaster, and I got to meet at one of the events, and he is the sweetest burro I have ever met. And he is the only burro I have ever met. But he's cute, and when our football team makes a touchdown, they get to take Blaster on a run throughout the field. So it's really exciting, and he's cute, and I'm excited because I'm a huge football fan, probably the biggest football fan in my family. So I'll check in and show you when I get some stitching done, because later on this afternoon, when I get home, after I put all the said food back in our new refrigerator, I'm going to stitch this afternoon. All right, see you soon. I'm back. It is later the same day. It's about 9 p.m. and I thought I would show you where I'm starting because I am just sitting down to do a little bit of stitching this evening. So yeah, it was a productive day. Refrigerator has been delivered, so we have a new fridge. It's cooling, getting cold. I haven't put the food back in it yet. And we went to the football game, and it was an absolute blowout on our part. We won 63-0. Yes, you heard me right. 63-0. So poor little Blaster, the burro, had to run the field 9 times because we made 9 touchdowns. It was so fun and so exciting. And then after that, my college boy came home with us, and I am doing his laundry this evening, and just been visiting with him, but he's now doing some computer sciencey stuff with his dad. So I'm going to stitch a little bit while I finish up his laundry, and I just thought I would show you where I'm starting the evening, and I'll either show you when I finish for the evening, or I'll show you in the morning what I got done. Let's go. Well, I stayed up too late last night. I won't say what time I went to bed, but it was too late, let's just say that. It is now Sunday morning. I have a fresh cup of coffee, and I am a bit obsessed with this project. I think that's why I lost all sense of rational thinking last night and just kept saying, okay, I just have to finish one more word, one more section, start one more color. You know how it is. We all do it. And I'm going to work on this area right up here this morning, because now that I've got that word stitched, this background color, I get to fill in a lot of just that color right there. So it's kind of a lot of just mindless stitching. I do have to start paying attention down here in this area somewhere where the stitching, I have to leave holes for the beads. But I am going to work on getting that a little bit of that color done that they're calling beige, which it does kind of look beige in this, but it's in real life it has more of a greenish tinge to it. And I'm going to do that, and I'm going to continue this color that was in the word locust. It continues down here in these leaves, I think, so I might finish up that piece right there. And Then I'm either going to continue doing boring background stitching, so this color then continues over to this square down here. Do that, or I might start getting into some more interesting parts in this leaf right here. And then that's all beads. So we'll see. I will check in either maybe in an hour, not an hour, after my morning stitching session, however long that is, or I'll pop in here later this evening or tomorrow and show you what I got done. Good morning. It's now Tuesday morning, and I forgot to check in on Sunday night to show you my progress, but this is pretty much it because I didn't do any stitching yesterday on Monday. So this is where I left off Sunday night. I was just obsessed with this thing. I couldn't put it down. I just couldn't stop stitching, even when I needed to refill my coffee. And I'm really enjoying it. So I have made some mistakes. Let me get my pointer here. Okay, the word willow is up one row too high. And then there's a little mistake around here. I put this whole white area here. I started it one row too high. But luckily I counted the starting point for this leaf because I did this leaf before I did all this white. So luckily I counted it from that spot, which is correct. So it worked out okay. But yeah, just minor little mistakes that don't need to be fixed, and I'm just going to work around them. So it's Tuesday morning, and I do have some time off and on to stitch today, so I expect to make big progress on this because it's just, especially because since putting it in the hoop and I can do two-handed stitching, I'm just flying through it. I mean, it's just such an easy project to work on. Okay, I'll check in, well, if I don't check in later today, I'll just check in the next time I have a chance. I almost forgot to mention in my last clip that it is November 16th today, so the hashtag Merry Mill Hill stitch along starts on Thursday, so just a couple of days. I really want to get all of the actual cross stitching done on my project that I'm working on now, the fall leaves, before then, because these are my two contenders of which ones I'm going to start for Merry Mill Hill. So that's hosted by Kat from Kat Talks on both Instagram and Flosstube, and Miss T and Stitches on Instagram. I don't think she has a Flosstube. I'm going to have to ask her if she does. But those two are hosting this SAL, so it's basically stitch anything festive starting on November 19th and trying to get it done by Christmas. So by the time you're seeing my video, though, that starting day is going to be already long gone. But these are the two that I'm going to try to fit in. I'm going to start with this one, though, because this one's been in my collection the longest, and I have seen it stitched, and it's so pretty. So I'm definitely going to do that one. I want to do this, and oh yes, you see that little turkey peeking out there, because I also want to stitch this month. Maybe it qualifies for Merry Mill Hill. I mean, it is festive. It's just not a Christmas festive or winter festive. It's Thanksgiving festive. So he's cute, though. Okay, but he's going to be my third choice. I want to really work on, I'm definitely going to start this one, and maybe I'll start them both and kind of work on them simultaneously. We'll see. Stay tuned. It's Wednesday morning, November 17th, and look at my progress. I know it looks like I have hours and hours of stitching in this, but I did most of it yesterday. So let's see, what did I say in the last clip? I did a lot of stitching on Sunday, didn't do any on Monday. Yesterday was Tuesday, and I worked a little bit in the morning, but most of it I did, most of the progress I saw since the last clip I did last night. So it's just, I cannot believe how quickly this is going. So this half here is all the cross stitching is done on that whole right half, and obviously up there. And pretty much from here down, I just need to fill in the rest of this green background, and a little bit, these are going to be some acorns. But I wanted to say I found something very interesting about this chart. When I was stitching around here, remember I told you I took this word and accidentally stitched it, I think, up a row too high, and it was going to make the leaf kind of butt into the top of the W there. And I wanted to just kind of alter the tip of that leaf a little bit so that it didn't, so that the bead didn't butt right up to that. So I wanted to look to see how noticeable it would be. So I grabbed the cover photo for this to see how close or how that leaf was supposed to look. And what do you notice about this cover photo? Yep, it says sycamore, and it's charted. The chart says willow. So I find that very interesting. More of a curiosity as to why the designer decided to, after the model was stitched, to change the word from sycamore to willow. Interesting. I mean, it doesn't look bad saying sycamore. Maybe that's not a sycamore leaf. I don't know. I don't know my leaves too well, but maybe that is a willow, or I don't know. I just find that interesting that it says willow instead of sycamore. So if you've stitched this, I can tell you that I never would have noticed that had I not specifically looked to see where that leaf was going to butt up to this word. Had I not looked at that, I think that I would have lived the rest of my life never knowing that this said sycamore and that said willow. And now I'm going to finish doing this green down here in this area. Let's grab this again so you can see just the green background, and then all I have left to do after that are just filling in those two little acorns, the rest of the color in the acorns, and then doing a few more colors up here, and I could easily get that done in the next stitching session, and we are on to beading. Stay tuned. I just wanted to check in and show you that I got all of the cross stitches done. It is Thursday, November 18th. Mary Mill Hill starts tomorrow, and I'm hoping to get the beading done on, I thought something looked weird there for a minute, but yeah, I'm hoping to get the beading done on this today. Doesn't look like it's too intense or complicated, so let me actually look at the beads. Hold on. Okay, these are the bead packets here. So this little acorn button is going to go in that spot right there. And then the packs of beads, looks like this one has maybe 3 colors in it. Okay, this is a little bit more involved than I thought. That has 2 colors. What do you see there? Does that have maybe 2 colors? So I don't know, about 7 colors of beads. And I attach all my beads, like I said in my last video, I attach them all with a half cross stitch, so it'll go pretty quick. And there's a little beading needle in there. Yep, the beading needle. And yeah, I have so many of these that I don't even use the ones that come in the kits anymore because I have so many of them. But these Mill Hill, the way they put beads together that are most of the time easily, distinguishable in each bag, and you kind of have to do a little bit of sleuthing to figure out what color is what bead. Let me see here. So yeah, they'll put like like the asterisks, those are in a bag together, and then the ones with the plus are in a bag together, and then the ones that don't have a symbol are in a bag together. So you kind of have to, like I said, do a little bit of sleuthing. And so maple and brilliant orange. So then you would look at these and figure out, okay, which one's maple and which one's brilliant orange. Well, it's probably easy to figure out that that's brilliant orange. So this is the bag with the asterisk. So you can sort them accordingly. I usually will just dump these beads, together into my little bin and work on that symbol, those 2 symbols together, and then put in another bag and figure out which bag that is. So most of the time there's only 2 bags of beads, but this one has 3, but nothing overly complicated. And all right, we shall let the beading commence, and I will check in when it's done. It's Saturday afternoon, November 20th, and we have a finish. Just going to zoom in there and show you how this looks in all its glory. I wish I could film this outside, but it's really windy and there's people using their leaf blowers and it's kind of loud outside, so you're just going to have to use your imagination that this is actually sparklier than it looks. So there it is. This leaf here has the matte beads in it. I need to interrupt this program briefly because as I was editing this footage that you're watching of the finish, I noticed, as you may have, that there is a little bead right here, a little tan bead that is supposed to be a dark brown bead. And I don't know how that little stinker made its way in there, but it's not supposed to be there. And I can't live with it. So I need to fix it. And I'm thinking that the best way to fix it, other than having to redo and unstitch all of this, is I'm going to carefully find a tool in the garage and I'm going to break that bead off because these are glass beads. I'm going to break that one off and then I'm just going to do a single stitch with a brown bead on it right in that spot. Why did I not see it? Weird. Anyway, I'm going to fix that and then I'm going to come back in here. So I took it out of the frame. Like I said, as I was editing that footage, I took it out of the frame to fix this. But then I am going to keep the original footage of my finish because I'm not going to film the whole thing again. So what I'm going to do is come back here in a split second and show you my fixed one. But then you're going to go back to see the footage that has that little bead in it. And I don't know, it's like once you know it's there, it's really noticeable. Okay, let me go fix that so I can relax. Okay, well that was super easy. I just took some needle nose pliers and I just went in there on that little button, that little bead, and I just went squeeze and it snapped right off. And I realized that I don't need to add another bead there because what had happened is there was just two beads. When I picked up a bead, I picked up an extra one. So as you can see, that one now just fits, it just moved right into its spot that it's supposed to be in. So that was an easy fix. I can rest in peace tonight. Which every time I do a mill hill, I always think I'm going to replace the matte beads with some sparkly ones because I like the sparkly ones so much better. But I don't know. I mean, these do add their own charm, even though they're matte. But you can't really even tell they're beads, though, unless you are looking at them. But, like you probably didn't even know that those were beads right there because they don't shine. But there it is. I think that I stitched this in record time. Definitely. I don't think I've ever stitched buttons and beads this quick. And mistakes, yep, minor, just a few. I mean, it really went smoothly. I think I used the wrong color thread to attach these outer beads. I was supposed to use dark gold and I used like a lighter orange, so those probably aren't exactly the color they're supposed to be, but it looks fine. I'm not going to change it, and there's not really much to say about this other than the fact that I'm happy to have it done, and yeah, there was just no issues with it whatsoever. So yes, today's Saturday the 20th. Yesterday was November 19th, and that was the beginning of hashtag Mary Millhill. So I showed you in a previous clip the two I was going to start, and I wasn't sure if I was going to start them both simultaneously or do one at a time, and I ended up doing them both. So I started first with this one, sorted. So yeah, the only stitching I did yesterday actually was this. I didn't do any beading on this. I did beading on this Thursday night, and then I finished it up this morning. Didn't do any yesterday. So yes, I started this one first. I was saying I didn't do any stitching yesterday, except I just got started on the stitch along because I wanted to go ahead and post my picture. But Pinecone is the one I started with first. I sorted all the threads and did a few stitches in that, and then I went and grabbed the second one here, which is Winter Feast. And I sorted all the threads for that and started stitching it. And yes, for the stitch along, I only stitched the cardinal. That's the picture that I posted. And then after I finished beading, this today. I continued working on this, and I've gotten this much done already on it today. So question is, do I finish this one up, the stitching, before the beading, and then go over here and finish the stitching on this one, or do I just finish this one to completion and then finish that one to completion? I don't know, whatever the mood takes me, but right now I'm enjoying stitching this, and it's going really quick. I probably could stitch it. I could probably finish stitching it today if I had a little more time, and I may just make the time. We'll see. Okay, well, I'm going to check in and let you know how I do on my Merry Mill Hill stitch-alongs. I did want to get that turkey done, the little Mill Hill turkey. I don't have it next to me here, but the one that I showed you in the last clip that I was going to do. I'd like to get that done before Thanksgiving, so I may put these both on hold and start stitching the turkey and try to get that done before Thanksgiving, and then that'll probably be my final fall stitching. All right, I'm back already because right after I turned off the camera, I realized that I was going to take this off of the fabric. So yeah, okay, just ignore that hot mess of a background I got going on there. Yeah, see this little thing here, this long strand? So what ended up happening is I was done stitching all the green, and when I turned over, there was a loop that had caught on the end of my, I think it got caught up here or something like that, and after I had stitched it, it had like this loop that was caught up there. And instead of undoing all that green, I actually just kind of pulled it tight and tacked it over there. So yeah, probably not an ideal thing to do, but I didn't want to restitch all that green just to tighten up that loop. So okay, yeah, I do kind of drag my thread a little bit. So now that we've thoroughly analyzed my mess of a back, here's another one where I stretched way over to there. When I turned it over, it was kind of loose, so I just went in the back and tacked it up. But all right, let's get to this. Okay, I'm going to try and do this with a camera in front of my face. So I'm just going to take a stitch. Okay, I gotta be careful. These little scissors, they're so sharp. I can't grab it with the phone in my face. Okay, let's try this one. Okay, I gotta put you on pause. All right, there. Now that I got that done, I can just show you that it's just super easy to undo this. Let's turn that over. Okay. You guys ever do that? Just like stick your needle in your pant leg, thinking, oh, just hold it there for a minute, and then you forget about it. Okay, so you get the idea. I just wanted to see if any damage was done since I hand stitched this on. Yeah, I probably had it pulled a little tight in the thing, but minimal. Definitely didn't damage it as much as the sewing machine did. Just a little bit on the corner there, got a little bit of bend, but definitely worth it to do that, to suspend it. I won't continue doing this in front of you, but you get the idea. Definitely made the project go faster, being able to put it in the hoop. I'm back again just a couple minutes later, and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to go pop it in a frame real quick, and I looked up on my mantle, and I still had this one in the frame from summertime, so I need to swap it. I think it'll look good in the white frame. I have a Halloween design in the black one, but I think, yeah, I need to get more frames. I only have the black and the white. So these are the shadow box frames from Michael's, and I need to go to the Dollar Tree. I think I was saying in the previous clip that a lot of people have used some frames from the Dollar Tree. Frame. While we admire that pretty one again. All right. So, threads. By the way, I did take the needle out of my pant leg. Never fear. So, don't need to worry about me. All right, let's pop this in. there. And I think we'll probably need to put the piece of paper behind it. Pop this in. Okay. Maybe I should have. Okay. There we go. Let's try to get my reflection out of there. And look at that. I think it looks pretty good in the white frame. I'll have to make sure it's straight, but okay, there we go. If only all my framing projects were that easy. I'd actually frame things. Onto the mantle it goes. Good morning, Stitchers, and happy Thanksgiving. I'm just here watching the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, and I'm going to try to do a little bit of stitching before the day gets crazy. Okay, it's not actually going to get too crazy, but I wanted to show you some stitching that I've done since the last clip. I don't have any finishes, but I did finish stitching. I did finish the stitching on 4 mill hill, no, 3. I'm almost done with the 4th. But I first wanted to show you for the Mare mill hill, the 2 that I had chosen to do are, one is the Pinecone, and I want to show you that I finished all of the cross stitches on it and just need to do the beading. So I finished that one, and I actually think I finished that one second. I think the one I finished first was the birdhouse one here, the Winter Feast. And yes, I finished the stitching. Oops, let me get that one off to the side. I finished the stitching on this one also, but I'm not 100% happy with the way these birds turned out. I don't know, you can't really tell that there's not a good definition of the bird's head there, so I don't know what looks wonky about that bird, but I might go back and maybe do some darker back stitching on that one, because I don't know, if you look at the picture, I mean, you can definitely see that there's a third bird there, but I don't know why mine doesn't. I don't know, the back stitching on mine, I kind of fiddled with it for a while and not really 100% happy with it, but yeah, that's an easy fix. I might just go back with some darker cross stitch. Maybe it's just the lighting, but yeah, this one is all ready to do the beads on. It had quite a bit of back stitching though too. I had all these little pine needles to do down here, and so for a mill hill kit it was quite a bit of back stitching. But that's going to be cute, and I'm going to do the beading on that. Then I worked a little bit on, I'm still working on this one, you know, the one I started last year. It has so many little confetti stitches in it. I mean, there's so many little colors. So I'm still not done with that one, but it's looking like that so far. So I've definitely made some progress, and I would like to finish getting that stitched up. So I'm going to get, as soon as I get this one finished stitched, then I'm going to do the beading on the other ones. And then, but the one I'm most excited about is this little guy right here, Tom Turkey, that I decided I wanted to stitch. I started stitching him yesterday, and he actually has quite a bit of stitching too. And I finished up all the stitching yesterday, and hopefully today I'm going to try to get his beading done, because he is so cute. Actually, that sun is so bright there. You can kind of see the colors a little bit better without that bright sun, but yes, he is so cute. And he had lots of little colors in him too. So yeah, I'd like to finish him up on Thanksgiving today. And that's it. So I'm going to check in with you probably one more time before I get this vlog uploaded. So I'm going to hopefully show you these 4 finishes and talk about maybe my December plans, if I know what those are going to be yet. I don't know. But I need to go make another pie. We're just having just the 4 of us. My college boy is home for the weekend, and we're just making a ton of food for just the 4 of us. So, yes, I'm going to go make my cherry pie right now. Not from scratch, you know. I'm going to open up a can of pie filling and throw it in a refrigerated pie crust, you know. So, super easy. I made pumpkin pie yesterday, made some cranberry jello salad on the side. I also made some of those cream cheese tortilla pinwheel appetizers. I made those yesterday, so those just need to be cut up. My husband and older son are going to smoke some ribs today, plus we bought a ham, and then we're going to have some rolls, sweet potatoes, green beans, whole baby potatoes. I might make some deviled eggs, yeah, cookies, relish dish. I know, I'm sure I'm forgetting something, but we have a lot of food. So I'm going to be feeling like a stuffed turkey myself later today when I sit down to do some beading. Yeah, I'm gonna go get my day started, and I'll check in with you soon. Right now it's Sunday, November 28th, and is that right? Is it the 28th? Oh, I don't know why I can never get the date right. Yes, it's the 28th, and as you can see, what I have here is 3 completed ornaments. Well, when I say completed, I didn't put the felt on the back yet because I need to go buy some different colors of felt. But I would like to present to you Tom Turkey, who turned out just so adorable. Probably my favorite part of him is this little thing right here. I think that's called a snood. I could be wrong, but it's like a little 5-bead loop right there. His little snood. I had to look that up because I thought it was called a wattle, but I don't think so. And then he's got that other charm on his hat right there, but so adorable. So I finished him. I started him the day before Thanksgiving and did all the beading on Thanksgiving night. The second one we have here is the Pinecone. And I already knew this was going to be one of my favorites because I've seen this one stitched up before and it did not disappoint. It is so pretty. All those beads. So I love that one. So I got the loops on them all, but like I said, I need to back them with felt. And then the final one right here is Winter Feast, believe it was called, with the cardinals, and yes, so pretty. I did go back and outline this front bird with black instead of brown, and I think it made him show up a little bit better. And then when I think I'm going to put some light blue felt behind so that you don't really see all the holes there. So, but so pretty. And the final one that I'm not done yet, but I'm very close to being done, is the Harvest Wagon. I've got all of the stitching done on it and half the beading. And I was going to wait and film this when I got that done, but it's just really nice outside right now, and I probably won't finish that till tonight. And I wanted to get this last clip recorded, and I will go ahead and install a clip, either a clip or a photo of that when it's done. And there goes my neighbor's dog. Okay, I had to move myself inside because my neighbor's dog is barking, and I think he's barking at me because apparently I pose a threat to him by sitting on my deck. So he's cute. He's this big Great Dane puppy, just big floppy feet. He's really cute, but he barks a lot. Okay, so why the very last clip I wanted to, I was going to talk about my plans for December, and I didn't really know what my plans were. So then I thought, well, I'm not going to commit myself to any specific plans, and I'll wait until December 1st and decide what I'm going to stitch. So that's what I was going to do. I was just going to end this vlog. But then last night I just on a whim decided to have a new start. And I don't really know why. I was thinking, waffling back and forth about whether I should start something new, something big. But then I thought, no, I'm just going to work on some of the larger works in progress I have, maybe, in December. And there's a couple other ones I want to finish up. But anyway, we'll talk about that in the December vlog. But I wanted to talk about why I went ahead and got a new start. And it's because, well, let me show you what it is first. I bought this, I think, this summer, and it's this one right here, Winter Hideaway. It's a Dimensions Gold Petite, and it's from 2004. And I'm stitching something called Winter Cabin. That's kind of like this same scene, and that's why I wasn't really going to start that. But I just decided, and what kind of put me over the edge with it is because I was watching Ashley over at, she's at Wayward Stitcher on Instagram and also here on Flosstube. I've been watching her for years. And she started a SAL on the 24th, so that the beginning day has come and gone already. But the SAL goes from November 24th to January 24th, 2 months, and it's in sort of a Memorial SAL for Winter the Dolphin. And if any of you have ever seen the movie A Dolphin's Tale, that's the dolphin that had the prosthetic tail. And there's 2 movies all about her and I'm just going to call her her. I think she's a her. Okay. Anyway, she just recently passed away. And I don't know all the details. Like I said, Ashley talks about a lot. And she invited everybody to take either a dolphin, something dolphin related that you have in your stash, or maybe you want to start something with a dolphin, or anything winter related. So at first I thought, oh, well, I really want to stitch a dolphin. So I went on to Etsy and I bought a beaded dolphin kit, which hasn't arrived yet, so I can't show that to you, but I'm going to stitch that one too. But then I thought, well, this is a winter scene, and I'll go ahead and stitch this one, and then I'll put the hashtag. I'm going to check and double check for sure, but I think it's Stitches for Winter. So if you have anything winter related or dolphin related that you either have already started or want to start, go ahead and show it on Instagram and use the hashtag Stitches for Winter. And I will put it across the screen if that's not correct. And join the SAL. I'm sure Ashley would love to have you. And while you're at it, go check out her YouTube channel too, at Wayward Stitcher. Okay, so I just started it last night. And this is all I've gotten done so far, right up there in the upper left-hand corner. Right there. And I'm dying to work on this, but I'm not going to let myself work on it anymore until I get my Harvest Wagon beaded, which I'm going to do for sure today. That is all I think I had to say about that, and I want to give a shout out to a channel, and I'm going to open up my little screen here so you can see what her channel name is, but she's a floss tuber that I found sometime during the pandemic, and I may have shouted her out already, but for some reason I don't think I did. And I highly recommend that you go check out this channel. Let me go find it and show you the name. Okay, so here's the channel. She's called Cup of Stitches, and her name is Maria, and she does Flosstube videos in Ukrainian and English. So she has 19 Flosstube videos in English, I know for sure. And if you look at this most recent one, it says Bucella Felt Stocking Kit Review. She did that as an answer to a request I had for her to open up one of her kits, because she has shown in the past that she does those Bucella she does some really cute felt stockings and wreaths, and I'm very intrigued by those, and I think I might try them. So her most recent one, she goes in depth. But yes, she has Flosstube. She stitches some Dimensions kits, a lot of really lovely stitches. Like I said, she has the same taste as me, so anything that you like on my channel, you'll like on her channel too. But you have to go check out, which Flosstube is it? I believe, I don't know, it's one of her more recent ones. She was working on these handmade embroidered ornaments that, I kid you not, they're about the most gorgeous ornaments I think I've ever seen, and you have to go check them out on her channel. I'll try to link the, let me see which one it is. Oh, I can't remember which one it is, but they're just gorgeous, 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 sparkly things. So go check out Maria over at Cup of Stitches, and I think you'll really enjoy her channel. She's just got a pleasant voice to listen to, and just really beautiful projects. I cannot believe I almost forgot to tell you guys my most exciting news. Exciting for me, anyway. Probably not too exciting for you. But I got a package from Russia. I ordered something on eBay. It's a unicorn chart, and I paid too much for it, but I'm completely excited. I can hardly contain my excitement. Can you tell? So I ordered this. Okay, well, let me just give you a backstory. So I've got 2 unicorn charts. Okay, if you're new to the whole Flosstube community, maybe it's in other communities too, but a unicorn chart is not a chart of a unicorn. It's a chart that is hard to come by. It's what you would love to have but can't seem to attain it because it's either rare or out of print or super expensive. So two of my unicorn charts are 2 dimensions kits. One of them is called Farm Hamlet. I'm still on the look for that one. But probably the one I wanted more than that is Mare and Foal. And look what I got, guys. I am so excited for this. So the reason I got it is because I was watching Cat Talks and she showed this, that, well, first of all, I've been wanting this ever since I saw Luda stitch it on her channel. And then I'm like, I haven't checked my eBay in a while here in the US. So I got on and checked on eBay and I found a seller from Russia. And I will link the seller's name below. And they have all kinds of like hard to get dimensions kits. And I don't know why they can get those kits in Russia, but we can't get them here, which makes me think that maybe they are going to be reprinted in the US. So I probably paid this for something that is going to just, Dimensions is probably going to release it, for print in the United States, and it's going to be a really reasonable price right now. But it doesn't matter. I wanted it now, so I was willing to pay the price for it. I was a little nervous because I wasn't sure of this seller since they're from Russia, and I thought, I don't know when I'll get it, and I figured, it said it was going to arrive December 17th, so I ordered this kit on the 13th of, I want to say, is that right? Yeah, okay, it doesn't really matter. You don't care. Point is, it wasn't supposed to be here till December 17th, and I got this kit in 8 days from Russia. I was shocked, and it came perfectly packaged in this nice hard envelope right here, and the seller even added another kit, a cute little kit of a dog, and a cute little card that's in Russian, and I can't read what it says, but yes, I have this kit. I'm so excited. And so I'll just say, this person, if you go to their eBay, if you're looking for some hard to find kits from Dimensions, this seller seems to have a lot of them. And she seems to sell most of them for about $73 US, 73 US dollars. You may think that's completely overpriced for that, but I don't know. For me, it's worth it. And so, Merry Christmas to me. I'm going to wrap this and put it under the Christmas tree. And I'm going to say it's from my husband because he's the one that told me, yeah, you should go ahead and get it. He says if it makes you happy, you should pay the money for it. You work hard for your money. You should get it. And I'm like, okay, twist my arm. Yes, I'll put his name on it and I'll put it under the tree and I'm not going to open this till Christmas. So our plan, I was so excited and I told Kat, I'm like, look what I got. And she's like, okay, we need to decide when to stitch this. So since we're starting the Riolis Blue Jay kit as our New Year New Start, along with a few other people that would like to start that, anybody can join in. And we kind of made this pact that we're not going to start this until we finish our Blue Jay. So I'm going to be busting my butt to get that Blue Jay done so that I can start this. Yes. I've got some big kits coming up. Not to mention all the big ones I already have going. Okay, doesn't matter. That's what the hobby's for, right? Also, if you're looking for a rare, hard-to-find Dimensions kit, I would check out this seller on eBay because they, are a really good seller. I highly recommend. And if you don't mind paying a little bit of a inflated price for that prized Dimensions kit that you've always wanted, well, it is Christmas. Put it on your list. Maybe Santa will deliver. Okay, I think that's it. I think that's all I have to say. So I'll just put in one little clip of my harvest wagon that, as I'm going to get that done, I'll just put that here. And then afterwards, I'd like to invite you to come with me to my front yard as I decorate for Christmas. Be forewarned, I went all out this year.